Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down the latest research into bite-sized pieces you can actually understand. Today we're diving into the world of artificial intelligence. Specifically, we're asking a question that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. When an AI thinks about a hard problem, does it think like a human?
Right. We see AI doing incredible things, but we don't often get a peek under the hood. This paper, titled AI Reasoning Effort Mirrors Human Decision Time on Content Moderation Tasks, tries to do just that. It's a fascinating look at whether AI struggles with the same tricky decisions that we do.
It's full of gray areas, and that's where this new generation of AI called large language models, or LLMs, comes in. You've probably heard of them, models like ChatGPT, Gemini, and others. The latest versions can do something called chain of thought reasoning.
That sounds technical, but the idea is actually simple. Instead of just spitting out an answer, the AI is prompted to think step by step. It's like when your math teacher told you to show your work. The AI writes out its reasoning process before giving the final decision.
And this showing your work seems to make the AI better at solving complex problems. But the researchers behind this paper wanted to know, does this AI reasoning process actually resemble human thinking in any meaningful way?
To figure that out, they turn to a classic idea in psychology called dual process theory. The theory says we have two main ways of thinking. There's system one, which is our fast, automatic gut reaction thinking, like when you instantly know that 2 plus 2 is 4.
And then there's system two. That's our slow, deliberate, effortful thinking. It's the system you use when you're trying to solve a tough riddle or figure out your taxes. It takes time and concentration. The big question in the paper is, when AIs use this chain of thought reasoning, are they essentially kicking into their own version of System 2?
Exactly. And to test this, they set up a really clever experiment. They created thousands of synthetic social media posts, like fake tweets. Then they showed them in pairs to both human participants and 3 top-tier AI models.
For every pair of posts, the instruction was the same. Which of these 2 posts is more likely to violate the platform's hate speech policy? The researchers measured one thing for the humans and one thing for the AI.
For the humans, they measured decision time. Literally, how many seconds did it take a person to look at the 2 posts and click on an answer? A longer time suggests a harder decision, one that required more System 2 thinking.
For the AI, they measured reasoning effort. They counted the number of tokens, think of them as pieces of words, that the AI used in its step-by-step thinking process. More tokens means more computational effort. It's the AI equivalent of spending more time thinking hard about the problem.
So the core idea is simple. If the AI is truly thinking in a way that mirrors us, then the tasks that take humans a long time should also be the ones that require the most reasoning effort from the AI.
And the results were incredibly clear. There was a strong, positive link. The harder the choice was for humans, the more the AI thought about it.
Let's make that more concrete. When the choice was easy, say one post contained a clear racial slur and the other was just a comment about hockey, people decided very quickly, and the AI used very little reasoning effort. It was an open and shut case, a System 1 problem.
But what about the hard cases? What if both posts contained the exact same slur? Or what if neither post had any offensive language at all? Now the decision is much more nuanced. You have to look at the context, the user, the topic.
And in those cases, humans slowed way down. Their decision time shot up. And what did the AI do? Its reasoning effort, the number of tokens it used to think, also shot up dramatically. It was a perfect match. The tough calls for us were the tough calls for the AI.
This suggests that, much like us, these AIs are switching from quick, easy judgments to a more deliberate, analytical mode when faced with ambiguity. They're shifting gears from System 1 to System 2.
Which is really cool, but what does it mean for the real world? Well, it has some pretty big implications. First, it shows that these AI models might be developing cognitive patterns that are surprisingly similar to our own.
But there's a more immediate, practical use. Imagine you're a social media company using AI to help with content moderation. If the AI spits out a very long reasoning trace, if it took a lot of effort to make a decision, that could be an automatic flag.
Exactly. It's like the AI raising its hand and saying, hey, this one was really tricky for me. That's a signal that this particular case is nuanced and probably needs to be reviewed by a human expert. The length of the AI's thought process could act as a difficulty meter.
The researchers even looked at the actual text of the AI step-by-step reasoning, and they found that when the AI was stuck on a hard choice, it would literally write things like, both posts appear to violate the policy. I will now consider secondary factors, such as the user identity and the topic of discussion. It was explicitly showing its shift to deeper analysis. So, to wrap it all up, this study found a fascinating parallel between us and our new AI counterparts. The amount of effort an AI spends thinking about a subjective problem like content moderation directly mirrors the time a human takes to puzzle over the same decision.
It's a sign that we're not just building tools that can give us answers, but tools whose very process of reasoning is becoming more understandable and potentially more aligned with our own. It's a step towards making AI not just more powerful, but more transparent.